Well, from the looks of it, you might think I'm doing Horn Peak, but I'm actually doing the Dry Lakes Trail. So yeah, the Horn Creek Trailhead here outside of Westcliffe, Colorado is a really good access point to many different trails, not just the Horn Peak Trail, but yeah, you can access the Rainbow Trail, and which gives you many different options to go hit up a bunch of different lakes, including the Dry Lakes Trail, which is my game plan for today, to hit the Dry Lakes Trail. So yeah, here's the sign here at the Horn Creek Trailhead. So yeah, I am right here. So yeah, and then yeah, you can see the Dry Lakes is up here. So yeah, ready to get this hike started. The first step is to follow this trail, spur trail, which reaches the Rainbow Trail, and then I'm gonna take a right, start going up the Rainbow Trail, and then take a left on the Dry Lakes Trail. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun day for sure. All right, here is the trail junction. So the Dry Creek Trail is a quarter mile from here. And so it's time to go this way, heading north on the Rainbow Trail. But yeah, so today is November 6th, 2025. And yeah, I'm at the Horn Creek Trailhead outside of Westcliffe, Colorado. And doing a awesome hike today. Gonna keep hiking up the trail, and then here in not too long I should reach the Dry Lakes Trail, and then I'll take a left. Dry Lakes, 3 miles. So, got 3 miles to go. This trail runs parallel to the Horn Peak Trail. The Horn Peak Trail is up that way. You gain the ridge. On the Dry Lakes Trail now. And a little backstory, I've actually done this trail, done part of this trail when I was doing the Horn Peak Loop, where you do Horn, then Fluted, and then a little Horn Peak, and then you drop down, and then you get back on this trail, the Dry Lakes Trail. And so it'll be good to be back and check out these lakes. But yeah, when I was down climbing Little Horn, I got into a little bit of danger because you're supposed to stay on the ridge below tree line, but I dropped down and ended up in a steep gully. Had to down climb some loose rock in a steep gully, but turns out I made it down in one piece, and then it got me back on the Dry Lakes Trail here. So I'll show you guys a close-up of the place that I down climbed at. But yeah, it'll be cool to see that once again. It's good to be back here. It's been a while. made it up the Dry Lakes Trail and I'm approaching the Dry Lakes. That is 13 or Fluted Peak dead ahead. And there's the horn over there. That's where I came from, the town of Westcliffe down there. And then there's Horn Peak. And then, yeah, going this way. So yeah, I got some great views already. Got some really nice weather for November. This is pretty calm for November weather. But yeah, I'll give you guys another look behind me. Yeah, zoom in on the town of Westcliffe. Westcliffe is way down there. Really puts it into perspective. Should be it. Yeah, this should be the lowest dry lake right here. Yep, this is it. Yes, I made it to the lowest dry lake. I'm gonna go keep going further up to the base of Fluted Peak, go up to the highest dry lake. But wow, what a view. That is so sick. As you can see, the lake is partially frozen over. But yeah, it is November 6th, so as expected, there's some snow up here. But yeah, incredible. Just gonna keep following the trail up toward the base of Fluted Peak. To the second dry lake. I can see the third dry lake up there, and wow, what a view. Gonna try to make it up to the third dry lake up there. It might require some bushwhacking. There was a little bit of bushwhacking to get up to this point. It is 10 o'clock, so I've been going for 2 hours and 10 minutes from the Horn Creek trailhead. But gonna keep going up to the uppermost lake. It is kind of windy up here, but it's not too bad. But just gonna have to find my way around these willows. All right, this should be fun. I'm at elevation 12,000 feet, and I have reached the upper lake of Dry Lakes. And so there it is, uppermost Dry Lake, and there are the other ones down there. Great views up here, and that is 13er Fluted Peak. I'm at 12,000 feet, so it's about 1,500 feet higher than where I'm at. There's the saddle between Horn and Fluted, not too far away from here. And there's Horn Peak over there. But just gonna hang out up here, take a break up on this rock formation. Really good views up here. Background, and I am going down. Just took a 10-minute break up here, taking in all the views. It was nice and peaceful up here, and yeah, really good views of these lakes, the Dry Lakes here in the Sangre de Cristo mountains. All right, I'm about to climb down. There has been intermittent snow. No need for microspikes. I brought microspikes, but I haven't had to use them. Just been mostly dry the whole way. Gonna just keep the higher ground as I work my way back over to the first lake. So keep going. Made it back to the first lake, and just looking back, I took the higher ground and crossed over that boulder field the whole way, all the way over there at the base of Fluted Peak. But yeah, it's good to be back down at the first lake and getting one last look at the lakes before I go back down. Time to go. So the trail is over here. But yeah, one thing to note is if you're gonna do this hike, once you get to the first lake, the trail kind of disappears and you have to take a right and follow this clearing and stay on the right, take the higher ground, and it will take you to the upper lakes. If you plan on doing that, you do this highway, because otherwise you end up in this willow brush. Trail is over here. Go down this wind, and out in the distance is the town of Westcliffe. That is the town of Westcliffe, Colorado. Here it is, I found it. This is the gully that I down climbed when I was doing the full loop of Horn Peak to Fluted Peak to Little Horn. And then after I was descending Little Horn, I took this steep gully with those trees at the top of it. And as you can see, it is really steep and loose. But yeah, I remember down climbing that and thinking I got myself way in over my head. And yeah, it looks daunting from down here, but yeah, I had to take it slow and go down. But yeah, that was the last time I was here on the Dry Lakes Trail. But yeah, it's cool to see it. And that is definitely the gully, because I remember there were a bunch of trees at the top of it. It looked exactly like that. That's gotta be it. Yeah, that's definitely it. That's the gully. That's my gully that I took after coming down to Little Horn. Little Horn is up there. But yeah, and then I ended up meeting up with this trail over here and then taking this trail back down to the Horn Creek trailhead. So that is my plan. Now is to take got about 2.5 miles left back to the Rainbow Trail and then a 1/4 mile back to the spur. And then I'll be home free from there, back to the Horn Creek trailhead. But yeah, I'm just gonna take my time and really enjoy the views and enjoy being in the forest, because this is amazing. back here at the trail junction. So that goes to Comanche Venable Trailhead, and this way goes to Horn Creek Trailhead. So I got a quarter mile to the Horn Creek Spur Trail to get me back to the trailhead. So I'm almost there. But yeah, this has been such an awesome hike. And just hiking through the forest. And it got steep in areas, but it definitely paid off getting up to the lakes and getting some really good vantage points of those lakes. So definitely a cool hike. But my legs are tired and I'm ready to be back. So almost there. This is it. This is the trailhead. Back at the Horn Creek Trailhead to finish this hike of the dry lakes from Horn Creek Trailhead. What a hike it was. What an awesome hike. So many good views. Yup, dry lakes. Well, I would say it was definitely a day well spent. So yeah, I'm gonna call it for this one. All right, I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.